What is up, guys? My name is Creature Play and welcome to my newest player review video. I'd like to give a shout out to Boone and Stewie for helping me grab some of this footage. Today we're going to be reviewing one of the newest positional heroes, the 99 overall Julio Jones. He offers 99 catch, 100 release, 100 spec, 97 route with 99 jump, 10 to short pass style, and 8 to speed run style as well. 98 acceleration with 79 carrying, 60 run block, not too high. You'll see a little later in the video how that actually plays out. I also want to point out that he is 6'3", which obviously helps for face catching. And although he can kind of play both inside and out, I recommend playing him on the outside. Today is Sunday. It is April 24th. As always, prices will change, but he's going for about $660 on PS4 and about $650 on Xbox One. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. As always, I do like to start off with the deep ball, verticals, streaks category, just to test out their speed and how they play one-on-one. Julio Jones does absolutely fantastic here. He has this really high spec catch, which definitely plays in. It mixes in with his high catching in traffic and is just catching in general. But his speed and his release, he's one of the best deep threat, vertical route specifically wide receivers that I've used so far this year. Everything comes into play with it. Like I said, his height, he is very tall, and he also has that really high jumping, plus, like I said, the acceleration, the speed, the release, his catch in traffic, his spec catch, it all plays in to how well he does at the deep ball. He was constantly burning, different corners, different people that we had lined up on him. And it wasn't an issue for him no matter who we put. I think we also had, Golden Ticket Trey Walker. He was just great on the outside at the deep ball specifically. Like I said, he has great spec catch as well. He got tons of crazy, beautiful looking passes, stuff like that. You jumped up like, angels in the outfield type animation. If you've seen angels in the outfield, you know what I'm talking about. But I did notice that he would get the spectacular animation actually triggered about, let's maybe say 1 out of every 4 or 5 passes. It would do something crazy like that. He also got that animation that you just saw where he catches it one-handed backwards right there. Normally he also would shrug the person off and then continue to run to the end zone if it was only one-on-one coverage. His catching in traffic is insane. Now, the flashback Andre Johnson that I've used, and I've done a review on as well, he is, in my opinion, the best catching in traffic wide receiver in the entire game. Now, he is my favorite receiver on my team. I love that card. And it really kind of, it's not bad, but I hate admitting that Julio Jones is just as good and actually might be a little better at catching in traffic than him. This card only goes for about 660K, and Andre Johnson still goes for about, I think, maybe 1.1, 1.2. But he honestly plays just as good as him sometimes, if not better. For his price, he is absolutely probably the best wide receiver you can get. I tried really hard because I wanted to include, like I always do, the negative things about them. They're not perfect, but when it came to dropping passes on route running, on streaks, I really was having difficulty getting clips because he was catching it so damn much. Triple coverage, quad coverage, double coverage, it didn't matter. He caught it so many times and it was kind of taking forever because I just wanted to get some clips of him dropping the ball. Route running, I know I'm getting into it a little bit late, but like I said, that release, and he has the 96 cutoff, which is what people look for because that's when the animation doesn't chop your feet anymore, 96 and higher. But he was constantly getting separation, so mix his route running with his speed and his release and acceleration. He was a route running machine. He always had separation in man coverage. But getting back to his passes, like I said, he had one pass where he dropped wide open where it was like uncontested, and that's this pass that you're going to see right here. It got thrown to him and it just bounced off of him, but I honestly can't even tell if the cornerback got his hand in it. But regardless, he also dropped this pass right here on a deep route run. And then later in the video, you'll see he dropped some passes getting beat on press, but I kept it in that category. But speaking of press, he was absolutely insane at press. That release definitely shows, and we tested him on a few different corners. Woodson, Like I said, that Trey Walker, and that Trey Walker has really high press as well, and he still had no issues on either of them. He did get beat twice, I think, where he was actually still being followed close enough the entire time to where the pass would get broken up. But for the most part, he could beat that press right away off the line, and then once you add his acceleration and speed in, he was just gone. Slants are another thing I tested. A lot of corners have difficulty stopping this, other than a couple golden ticket corners that I've reviewed lately. Again, he had no problem. Here are the two clips I mentioned earlier of him getting beat on the press where they were still close enough to block it up. And just for the record, although I don't have tons of clips of him dropping the ball, it's because he really didn't drop the ball that much. I would say if I have to give an average or a fraction, he was catching, honestly, about 8 to 9 out of 10 passes, which is crazy. His run blocking is kind of weird because it's not super high, but it should be, enough to block. We tested it with 4 different corners, including Tremaine Johnson, Trey Boston, Cromartie, and Trey Walker. And on literally every single play that we ran, they were able to get off the block and make a tackle or get it close enough. So I don't know what that's all about. But I mean, I did it as well as I could. I tried 4 different corners and it was still happening. And getting to my rating system, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 for speed. Definitely noticeable on streaks and deep balls and on anything with a really sharp route. Definitely good for separation. Catching, 9 out of 10. Like I said, he's one of the glitchiest wide receivers I have used. Double, single, quad, triple coverage, it didn't matter. And especially in traffic, which is why I gave him a 9 out of 10. There are only a couple receivers I can think of off the top of my head that do it a little better than him. But like I said, glitchy, and he was so reliable. Route running, his acceleration, his speed, the route running stat itself, and his release, when you combine all of his stats, it is deadly. Spec catch, like I said, he made some beautiful, really crazy animation catches. The floating through the air, angels in the outfield style, the one-handed backwards and shrugging people off. And it happened pretty frequently also. And then lastly, his release, one of the best releases I've seen in the game. There are a few more who have higher, but still pretty good for press beating. Overall, for his price, he is without a doubt the best wide receiver in the entire game that you can get. He excels in every single category other than run blocking, and there really aren't too many negative things about him, but just keep him on the outside if you do get him, because that's where he really will shine, especially with his, kind of really crappy run blocking, like I said earlier. As always, thank you guys for watching, and take care.